Hi, I'm Sydney Sweeney, and this is the Wired Autocomplete interview. I know what you Google. Okay. How is Sydney Sweeney doing? Skip. What did Sydney Sweeney do before acting? I was a child. I went to school. I played soccer, hung out with my friends. I ate dirt. I don't know. I was a kid. Does Sydney Sweeney have tattoos? No, I do not. I have the biggest phobia of needles. Like, the biggest. I have to be held down to get my blood drawn or get a shot. I don't know what happened when I was young, but I've tried everything. I've tried therapy, hypnotism, laughing gas. Nothing works. And it's something that I'm trying to get better on. But yeah, I don't have tattoos because of that. What is Sydney Sweeney's favorite food? Chocolate chip cookies, chicken fingers, truffle pasta, pepperoni pizza or Hawaiian pizza, but I know that's a little controversial. Cheeseburgers, corn dogs, mac and cheese. Third grade food. Will Sydney Sweeney be in Euphoria season 3? Yes, I will. Cassie will be there, crazy as ever. I have been with Cassie since I was 20. I filmed the pilot when I was 20 years old. My relationship with Cassie has gone through ups and downs. She's crazy, but as an actor, it's one of those roles that you kind of dream of playing because you get to be insane and you get to have so much fun and you get to be bigger than life sometimes. So I've been really fortunate to be able to play a character like that in my 20s because she's just, she challenges me in ways I never knew I'd be challenged. Does Sydney Sweeney do MMA? So I grew up kickboxing and grappling. I started when I was like 12 years old and I did it until I actually booked Euphoria and then I couldn't get punched in the face anymore. And I loved it. I trained at Gokora Hayastan, it's in North Hollywood, and I was there like 3 times a week. So it kind of transferred over into my movie, Christy. It was really cool being able to tap back into the old skill set and be back into that community. I loved it. Sydney Sweeney, bit by spider. I got bit by a spider when I was filming Anyone But You. And then I got bit by something again when I went back to Australia to film Eden. And I have a permanent mark on my arm. And I have no idea what bit me, but it gave me, so for Anyone But You, I got bit on the hand here and I have like a little mark. It was during a scene when Glenn and I were on the hike and I reached into his pants and pulled out a spider. And it was a real spider that was on my hand. And when I started screaming, I think it scared it. And so it decided to bite me. And so then I'm screaming in the scene and everyone thinks like, wow, this is a comedy, right? Like she's getting kind of dramatic. But I was like, no, it's really biting me. It's actually biting me. And then Glenn was the one who realized I wasn't acting. He's like, oh shit. And he came over and then everyone cut and the spider would not stop biting me. And it hurt really bad. It was a huge spider. And then this one, no idea what happened, but it bit me and then something grew. So then they cut it out of me and gave me stitches and then it grew underneath. So now it's just stuck like this. And I just haven't had time to go to the doctors, that's it. Sydney Sweeney, Billie Eilish. I mean, I'm a huge fan. I love her music. My entire Spotify is basically Billie Eilish. I don't know why we're getting Googled together. And she's hot and I love her, so that's a compliment. Can Sydney Sweeney sing? I will sing in the shower sometimes. I like to karaoke. Can I actually sing? I have been told yes, and I've been told no. Maybe it's something I'll work on.
Do you have any go-to karaoke songs?
Creep is my go-to karaoke song. What's the other one? Sweet Caroline. That is a fun one. It gets the whole crowd into it. You're gonna dance on the bar. It's usually a good time. But I think it's more fun when you can't sing because then it makes people feel more comfortable around you and they feel like they can join in too, so it's okay. All right, can Sydney Sweeney ice skate? I mean, I'm not gonna go compete or anything, but I can ice skate. I had to ice skate for Euphoria, so I trained a little bit on that. And then I mean, when the holidays roll around, everybody loves a good ice skating date. So I can ice skate a little bit. Can Sydney Sweeney drive stick? Yes, I can. My mom wouldn't let me drive an automatic until I knew how to drive a manual. So I grew up learning how to drive on my great-grandpa's 1940 F1. And so if you guys know what that is, it's like the steering wheel's huge, the shift is crazy, it's old, so it's gonna stick. And that's what I had to learn to drive on. Can Sydney Sweeney work on cars? I can. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm still learning, but my best friend's dad, Rod Emery, he builds and restores classic Porsches. And a few years ago, I was on Bring a Trailer. It's this website where you can auction cars and buy cars. And I got an old 1969 Bronco. And I called him up and I was like, I just got it. I felt like I was in Vegas and I was like winning. And I got the Bronco and I needed to do some work on it. So he was gracious enough to let me bring my Bronco into his Porsche shop and open up a section, and I would come in every day after work or if I didn't work, and he would teach me how to work on the car. So I changed the transmission, I changed the drum brakes to disc brakes, I rebuilt the inside, worked on the engine, and that was it. So now I'm working on my next car, and it's going to be a 1963 56. So I just got the old body of it and it's all rusted, and Rod and I are going to build it together. So on my days off, I'm going to go and start working on that. Yeah, okay. Was Sydney Sweeney valedictorian? I was. It was a small school, but you still have to take some hard classes. I took all AP classes and I loved school. My mom was pretty strict growing up, but in a good way. Like I want to motivate you to be a good person and push yourself to try hard things and to be able to be independent and succeed on your own. So I was always terrified of coming home with a bad grade. And I also loved homework. Like I liked it. And I did well. Where did Sydney Sweeney go skydiving? You guys, this is the coolest thing ever. So I was back home in Idaho and I got to skydive over my lake. And that was the coolest thing ever. I've never gone skydiving before. I woke up at like 6 a.m. There was a prop plane that picked me up. It was a water plane. It was camo and it pulled up in front of my dock. I grabbed my cousin John and my best friend Mike and we go on the dock. We climb in the plane, go up into the sky. It takes us to another plane. And all of a sudden I'm getting strapped to a person and they're like, we're gonna jump. And then I jumped and it was the best time ever. It was great. I loved it. Where did Sydney Sweeney go on safari? I went to Tanzania and we got to see lions and giraffes, I think. I saw giraffes. I got to see, it was lions mating season. Well, that was interesting. It was really cool. It was a pretty awesome experience. I took all my girlfriends and it was a really fun time. Is Sydney Sweeney doing Barbarella? We are in development right now. Yes, we are. So can't really give you much more tea on that other than yes. What is Sydney Sweeney's latest movie? Most recently, I have Christy, which is about the boxer Christy Martin, and The Housemaid with Amanda Seyfried. Christy is such an empowering story. It's about a trailblazing woman who has fought so many fights within the ring and outside the ring, and she is the greatest role model of my life. I love her. And it's gonna hopefully save people's lives. And The Housemaid is based on a book by Freida McFadden, who it's juicy. You guys, it's twisted, it's delicious, it's sexy, it's fun, it's a wild ride. You're gonna love it. What is Sydney Sweeney's dream car? Right now, I've been really wanting either like an old Defender or like a 300 SL. You know, Defender, I could go roll around on the beach. I could go camping with my friends, a luxurious camping trip in that Defender, that's for sure. It's a group car. You're picking up your friends, you're gonna go backpacking, you're gonna have a good time. The 300 SL, That's just a sexy car. That's just a really good time in its own world. It's got sick doors that go up, and it's just, yeah, it's hot. But it's also very expensive. All right, what? Oh. What kind of dog does Sydney Sweeney have? I have 2 dogs. I have Tank, who has been in my life since I was like 16. She's a mutt. I rescued her. And then I have Sully, who is a German Shepherd. He's about 8 months old now, and I call him Silly Sully. He's a floppy bear. I am a very loving dog mom. I try to set rules, but those rules tend to be broken with kisses and treats. They sleep in the bed with me. We run and cuddle. They're the best soulmates, honestly. What is Sydney Sweeney's favorite movie? Mamma Mia. I worked with Amanda Seyfried recently, and I was geeking out the whole time, and my whole dream going into it was that we would sing a Mamma Mia song together, and then we did. And my life is complete. What is Sydney Sweeney's best movie? I don't know. I've had really incredible experiences on a lot of my films. I'm pretty lucky, and I've gotten to tell some pretty amazing stories, so I don't think that I have a best. Let's go with the PG Google searches. I know what you Google.